Yes, now I'm here to give you guys another update on how you can apply for Italian citizenship. Now, here in Italy, there are different ways which you can apply for Italian citizenship. People obtain the Italian citizenship in different form. So Prince TV is here to craft to you ways you can pass through to get the Italian citizenship. This is what I've come to state to you guys. This video is going to be categorized by article, letting you to know where it is stated by the law. So listen attentively and get the update and know which of the roads you have to now pass through to get your own particular Italian citizenship. For those people who are interested, because this Italian citizenship of 18, not be everybody they interested. So now be waiting on I need to understand. And listen attentively. He said here, obtaining the Italian citizenship means getting fullness of civil and political rights in Italy. So, if you have Italian citizenship, you are automatically like the Italians. You can do everything which they can do. At the political level, coming to vote for election, you have the right to do everything which Italian man or Italian woman can do. That is the meaning of Italian citizenship. Who can apply? He said, there are many different ways to obtain the Italian citizenship. He said, here below you can find the main ones with more details on eligibility criteria and procedure to apply for citizenship by marriage and by residence. Now listen attentively. He said, by birth or adoption, basically, if you have Italian citizenship, your child will automatically be an Italian national. He said, by birth and residence in Italy. He said, basically, if you do not have Italian citizenship, your child can become an Italian national only if the following requirements apply. What are the requirements? First, born here in Italy. Second, uninterrupted residence until turning 18 years. So that child must have uninterrupted residence until he or she completes 18 years. So that is one thing you guys have to understand. Statement of intent within 1 year from the 18th or birthday. So that is what you guys have to now understand in this part. He said babies born in Italy will get the same status as their parents. If parents hold different status, the baby will get the status of the parents who registered the baby on the permit. So that is what you guys have to also understand on this part. And let's go to one by marriage. He said, by marriage with Italian citizen. You understand? It is located in Act 5. That is where the law is stated. He said, if married to an Italian citizen, you can apply for citizenship after 2 years of marriage and legally residing in Italy, or after 3 years of marriage if resident abroad. So if you marry an Italian person and then you guys reside here in Italy, after 2 years you can apply for Italian citizenship. But if you guys don't reside here in Italy, in any other country, after 3 years you can request for Italian citizenship. In case you and your spouse give birth or adopt a child, you can apply for Italian citizenship after 1 year of legal residence in Italy, or 1.5 years if resident abroad. So meaning that if you marry an Italian person, you give birth here in Italy, after 1 year the baby have to become an Italian. Then if you live other countries, maybe not in Italy, you have to wait for 1 year 5 months. That is what the law have stated already. That is for those people who have to apply or get Italian citizenship by getting married to an Italian person. So that is what I stated to you guys. Now let's go for the one of Act 9. People who have to get Italian citizenship based on residence. He said here, by legal residence in Italy, Act 9. That is where you can find the law on the Italian constitution. He said, it can be requested by foreigners who have legally resided in Italy for a certain amount of time and meet specific requirements. He said here, in particular, you need to prove that you have uninterrupted legal residence in Italy. Now let me explain this point. When they say uninterrupted residence in Italy, it means that your residence must not be interrupted. For example, when we talk about if you have your permesso di soggiorno after you renew, you have to go to where you have your residence to update. All those things are put into consideration. For example, those people who live in camp, after many time and then you leave the camp, then you get to now see that your residence is cut off on behalf of you. Then holding the plastic which state that it's valid for 10 years. For your mind, you go to say it's still dey on. You don't know say for the system, they don't cut am. Such person, he gets interrupted resident permit. Now wetin they talk. So your documents, your residence must be uninterrupted for the maximum amount needed for you to apply for the Italian citizenship. Now listen attentively. He said, the law talks about residential legally or legal resident. So basically, this means that you need to have lived regularly, uninterruptedly in the country and have registered at the registry office for residential anagrafica, which is anagraphy, resident with your commune. The law provides that you must be able to rely on a period of legal residence which varies according to your origin. In particular, he said at least 4 years of uninterrupted legal residence in Italy for EU citizen. Then at least 5 years of uninterrupted legal residence in Italy for stateless person or refugee permesso per asilo politico. Now everybody listen attentively, don't get confused. If you have refugee status, asilo politico, you need to reside here in Italy for 5 years, uninterrupted residence, before you can apply for Italian citizenship. You might understand. Now listen attentively to the next one. He said, at least 10 years of uninterrupted legal residence in Italy for non-EU citizens or those with a permesso per protezione sussidiaria, motivo humanitari, and other permesso. Now, I'm gonna listen attentively. You see, people when get subsidiary protection, protezione speciale, ex-humanitarian, anything when be like say, not be asilo politico, you need to reside in Italy for good 10 years before you can apply for Italian citizenship. It is for only those people who are stateless, asilo politico, who will reside in Italy for just 5 years before they can apply for Italian citizenship. So get it clear if you don't know this before. So now let's go a little bit forward. He said, please mind that discontinuing of residence is one of the reasons why applications are rejected. Like we stated, if you are not legally resided uninterrupted, if you apply for the Italian citizenship, then they will have to now reject you. The Prefettura and the Ministry of Interior will send you a rejection notice if your historical residence certificate does not prove that you have uninterruptedly lived in Italy for the required time, either 5 or 10 years, depending on your personal situation. So that is what you guys have to understand. He said, if you receive a rejection notice, the best would be to seek the support of a lawyer who can help you gather all the relevant, useful documentation to provide you actually meets the residence requirement. Sufficient income to support yourself. He said, the law provides that you must prove you have earned a maximum yearly income for the past 3 years in order to obtain the Italian citizenship by legal resident. He said, mind that this does not hold true if you apply for Italian citizenship by marriage in Act 5. That is where the law is stated. You need to have a minimum yearly income. Now listen, he said, you need to have a minimum yearly income equal to or higher than €8,263.31 if you are alone. He said that number goes up to €11,362.05. He said if you have a dependent spouse to which you need to add €516 for each additional dependent person, such as your child or your parents. So that is what you have to now understand. Now listen attentively. He said the government will calculate your income by reviewing your declaration, the heredity declaration of income for the past 3 years. For this, you will need to include the requirements of a documentation such as Unico code or settled renter of the last 3 years. In case your income is too low, it will be possible to add with the income of other family members living together. Now listen to this last part because I'm about to end the video now. He said, a clear criminal record to prove that you are not a threat to the security of the Italian Republic. He said, criminal certificate of the country of origin translated and legalized by Italian embassy, consulate in your country of origin and possible of other country where you resided. He said, please note that this certificate expires 6 months after date of issue. So that is what you guys have to understand. He said, how to apply. He said, you can submit the application for the Italian citizenship exclusively online by registering on the portal of the Ministero dell'Interno at the following web address. So, not be everything I'll give you for here. So, how to apply? I have to give you what I can do, my best. So, if you have to apply, I will tell you to go to CAF or you go to CGL, Patronato, ANOF. Then they will give you the direction on how to apply. But these are the requirements. These are the guidelines according to Italian constitution, according to the Ministero dell'Interno, the requirements which you need, the direction, things you have to know about to apply for Italian citizenship. So that is what you guys have just received from Prince TV. If you like this video, all you have to do for me is to make sure you give me a thumbs up and then share the video. Now the only 2 things when I go fit do for me be that one. Because myself, you see, I settle down to study for you guys. Come here, I go dish and give una. So make una do me favor by sharing the video and then give me your like button. Now so it just be. You watch me for Facebook, give me star. Give me star, please, if at all. Give me star, ma tasty the see front. I greet all the fans of Prince TV. Respect.